Hello, I'm Allison. I'm juror number 6, and this is my Ponderosa.
Coming in? Hey! Hey! Thank you.
Teal for real.
Teal for real.
Welcome.
Thank you. How's it going? Good.
Great. How you feeling?
I am content.
Yeah.
I feel like I played an amazing game, and it was apparent in like the standing ovation that people gave me. Thank you. Obviously, I wanted to win, but I know in their minds that they thought I could win and that I could have a lot of your votes.
You did, so
that's yeah.
So you were good at so many aspects of the game. How could you have lowered your threat level? Or could you have? Or you just...
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I came in strong and I had to stick to that.
yeah.
Like when in our original Flagstaff, like I got both of you and Shay, like, and Mary right off the bat. So I was like, all right, I gotta talk game with everybody. And I didn't lie. I didn't really lie. I like withheld information from everybody at certain points, but it wasn't anything, negative, not to affect any of your games. Yeah. And then what happened?
And then we swap.
And then we swapped.
And then we swapped, and
That's when we meet.
yep. And then but there's no way I could have diminished my threat level. Threat level midnight.
So coming in, let's go to Mergatory. What were your options you had, and if you had it your way at Mergatory?
What do you mean?
The first,
When I
we're
came
all
back-
first together. His vote out.
Oh,
We split two groups.
if somebody else would have come in, or
No, who? Like, if you could have just had it your way with, what were your options at Mergatory?
Oh.
With who were your allies, and who did you want to go with?
we
to the
wanted Adam or Seth to lose, but both of them won.
Yeah.
So then that's
That was
why
such a-
I went for you,
Yeah.
because my
So
only
who
options,
were you with?
Yeah.
you two,
Right.
and Amelia and Callie, and I was with you two, and Nick and Zach. So yeah, the 6 that we had plus you. What is it? Our
you
new
have-
our
New
new
Sebago.
Sebago. I was
Yeah.
with.
Did you have an ideal end game at that time? Were you already?
I knew that I was going to have options.
Yeah.
I felt like I would get to the end, and I knew I had options depending on who got voted out, and I was fluid with that. But then when the people available to vote for were Topher, Dave, TJ, right, and Amelia and Callie.
Only one option.
Obviously, Callie and I were in the same exact position in that I didn't want to vote for Callie. She didn't, she couldn't vote for me. But I had these two, and she had you and Nick. And I didn't want to vote for Amelia either. I didn't want it at that time. And I told her that I was voting for you.
Yeah, that's why.
And I hated it.
I know, it was like the Civil War
Because
came way too
I
soon.
was, you'll hear in my confessionals, I was eyeing you so hard. Like, even when we first sat down in the sleeping bags, like, you were behind me and, like, smiled, and I was like, ooh, I want to see
know.
this guy.
I was like, oh my god. Like, I was like, even when we were doing challenges, I was
I
like,
know, we were so happy together.
I'm like, oh my god, like, we're gonna work together.
Yes.
Hey,
We had the 6.
yeah,
we
no.
could have actually.
And I was
Should've
serious. I
stuck
don't know
to
if
it.
we
Should've
have,
stuck
but
to
I
the
was
same.
serious.
No, I was
like, at least
sincere,
for
but
that, like a vote or two.
I was
would've
sincere,
been-
but I couldn't at that point because it
it
I
was the
didn't
worst
want to
law
go for those
Elizabeth.
ladies, and I didn't want to vote one of them because at that time both of you guys were like, yeah, I'll go at the end with you.
It was a fun like climax of our little like
Yeah.
like when the 6 had to implode on itself.
Well, I was gonna say,
It sucks that it happened so soon, and then that was the time where, like, I couldn't diminish a threat either by switching from Nick, even though I knew that it wait, no, what? Topher? No.
Then me, and you
Dave.
knew I was
No,
going home.
when I was trying to go for, I'm confused.
Nick at 10?
No.
Yeah, we were just.
I don't know. Cut.
Well, okay, wait. So you guys are talking a lot about wanting to say the 6 Sebago strong, and I already talked to them about me coming back in. How did you feel about me winning that? And then
I did not like you winning that, Lauren. I was like, really? Of course she's gonna win.
You were the only one really
You were the only. I didn't want you back, and I didn't want Mary back because I had a feeling that she would be like, ugh. Also, I didn't think she was going to win that one because you needed to be very, very calm and collected. I think you finished that.
The same interests in Kiefer or Shay winning that one.
Yes, definitely. Well, obviously more so I wanted Shay. But you finished that faster than any of us.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, finishing that, of like, you guys are saying the 6 strong, but like, thinking about it, me coming in and you 6 having voted me out and me having all of the insider information, because it was almost all Flagstaff at Exile with me.
Yeah.
Actually, it was all Flagstaff at Exile with me. And so, not only...
Got Sandra for about 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, Sandra came in. But so, not only did I come back in, and I already had a vendetta against all 6 of you.
Right.
I then
Obviously, that's why I want you back.
I had all of the information. But so I'm just saying, like, do you think that that played into also the 6 of you imploding early on?
Well, the imploding had nothing to do with you because I was looking at my options and I wasn't going to go for them and I wasn't going to go for a lady, and that only left Topher.
Mm-hmm.
I will
It had nothing
I will
to
say
do
from
with
like
you coming back.
that side of the people who voted Dave, like having you come in and be so I'm anti-Dave, like it became like as we're starting to be like, well, who do we go for? We're like, well, we know we have at least one. And
It was the easy name. It was out there.
Yeah, and then we were like, as we started to be like, which name could we put down that could actually?
Oh yeah, okay,
get some
that's when you
numbers?
played as idol. Okay.
Yeah.
We last night. No, it was this morning. No, it was last night. We rehashed the day because so much happened, and I'm catching up right now too.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. You said you didn't really lie in the game, that you withheld information.
Yeah.
When they asked just now who you think is playing the best game, was that the truth? You think Amelia's playing the best game?
Honestly, I love Amelia's game, but I also think that Callie could win.
Yeah.
I didn't want.
I've been a
I
Callie
didn't
head.
want to say. I didn't want to say Callie because I knew that she was still possibly voting for me.
Yeah.
So if I said Callie, then she could probably just be like, okay.
Well, let's just say this: you coming here opens up the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why they voted for me instead of you last time? Because
Callie was
figured
gonna
she
work
had
with me.
inroads with you?
Yeah, definitely. Callie was gonna work with me, and I love what
That
Nick
didn't
and I
work out.
have. Like Nick and I just had this back and forth. It was so fun.
Did you know that Nick had the 5 shot in the darks?
5.
Tell the story.
Yeah, so
I didn't know he had. He showed me 3. He showed me his name, Lauren, and Sandra's name.
So I got 4 on Exile. We put them all
the people.
We put them all in the bag. I would have had 5, but Shay had played hers. So we put all of ours in the bag, and so whoever comes back in, just pick up all the camp stuff. This is with it.
Perfect.
So I had 4. I'll tell you my debacle at my vote out. Which actually it worked out for Nick. But also it would have
He could
burned.
win.
I didn't realize that the extra vote, you had to bank a vote. The previous tribal.
What's that mean?
Remember when there was that kerfuffle when Lauren
Yeah,
went to vote?
yeah.
So you basically had to skip a vote this time and to take a parchment to get a second vote next time.
But you didn't have a before time.
Yes, and I didn't know that, and I was like, oh shit. And there was never a time I could have done that. So I was like, oh shit, I can't do the extra vote. I thought it was Nick, Seth, Callie, and I, and the extra vote on you.
Callie wasn't gonna vote.
Well, I know that now. But we had said Amelia or you, and Nick let her pick, and she said you. But obviously, she voted for me. But so it didn't end up. And then I maybe was going to play my 50-50, but on the off chance, I didn't know where Callie was at, and I thought, I still felt like we had the 4. So I was like, it'll tie. And if I play my 50-50 and it fails, then it's just me. So before Liza even came downstairs, put the 4, I took them out of my shirt, and I put the 4 in Nick's bag, and I said, it's probably me. If it's not, I want these back, but you have them.
Oh, nice.
So he had 5.
He's such a good liar.
Yeah, he's a good liar. We were
Why did he think he was getting votes? Or did he actually think
Tonight?
he was- Yeah.
Tonight. Right now?
Yeah.
Because in the beginning he was.
Oh yeah.
Also,
we
it's the
were,
last time you could play it. You might
Yeah,
as well.
why go out with something?
we were talking about how because we knew from Lauren that he had 5. We're like, if you two had just synced up and if you guys realized that you were getting the votes, if you gave
You could have
him-
I
idled
told her.
someone out.
if you gave
He didn't
him your
want to do
shot,
that?
he could have had 6 to play an idol on you, and we were like, that would have been.
He voted me out.
I know, but it would have been
Well, he didn't
That
vote.
would've
if you guys had
Oh,
an
yeah, he did.
contest together, but I don't know if that was ever.
I don't know if he would've wanted-
He wasn't. He wouldn't have done
wanted
that
you out.
because he wasn't honest with me. He told me he only had 3.
Yeah.
Because if he had wanted to work with
I
me,
was just
then
us on
yeah.
the jury bench being like, ooh, what if they
That's a
work
cool
together?
possibility. I didn't know
Yeah.
So, Allison, you played a previous game. How did you play differently this time than your first game?
I played so much better in this one, or I had more of an opportunity to play. I played Outlast with Sandra, and so that's how I instantly got close with Zach
Yeah.
because during the challenges, sometimes Sandra and I would on the lake challenge. At one point, Sandra was running there, and I ran even faster. I was like, Sandra, I'm right behind you. And then we were both looking at the pictures. I was like, does anybody know that we know each other? And she was like, no. Oh, wait. Did she say you at that point? No.
At some point she would have said it. 'cause-
Not yet, I don't think. I think she was like, no, nobody knows. And I was like, okay, TJ knows. I knew that you knew. And then
I honestly wasn't sure. But
Yeah?
And that's what I told him. I said,
later
he said
we
he thought
confirmed.
that he wasn't
yeah,
sure.
I confirmed in case.
Did you have different hair in Outlast or something?
I'm blonder now and I have bangs. Yeah, but yes, I
It
did.
threw me off. It's good.
Yeah.
Did that on
Good hair
purpose for
strap.
this game? Did you disguise yourself?
Me too. But yeah, I talked to her then, and then we were both out on the tug of war challenge. So we sat next to each other, and I was like this, and I was like, she initially sat so close to me, I was like, Sandra, get away.
That's so funny.
When you
And then we were talking non-discreetly, and then that's when she said, I'm close with Zach. And
I knew you two were so close, and I hated it. That's why I said to Maddie, and then when I got voted out, that's why Maddie said Sandra's name on that other swap tribe.
Yeah, on Sebago it was me, her, and hopefully Adam. We had
The 3 of you were literally always whispering. So me, Seth, and Maddie very quickly were
What
like,
are we gonna whisper?
yeah.
Steph
Well,
and
actually,
Maddie?
I didn't tell her that you played. I just said, when she said, does anybody
I mean,
know?
me.
I said, Dave knows because he knows Taylor.
You should have hung back.
I didn't say that you played. I just said that you knew Taylor.
when
I
you,
was
Also,
not a
we're not
small
loud. They
walker.
can't hear us.
Well, actually, so
We haven't been yelled
Sandra
at.
said that you potentially screwed my name out early on.
I said, you're saying Zach played all these games
To Sandra.
to Sandra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all.
She must have misinterpreted that then.
when you told me after the journey,
Me?
if it has to be Sandra, that's okay. Did you mean it?
Yes, I truly did because
'Cause
I
it
had
had
no
to be.
because I had no contact with her, but
Yeah.
I knew I had Zach through her, so that was enough for me.
Well, the second Sandra was gone, I was all in on you two.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I truly felt good with that.
Yeah.
I can't open this, but yeah, I honestly am glad that she went because that would have been more of a detriment if
I think so, yeah.
someone found out, or I don't know. I didn't particularly want to work with her. Sorry, Sandra, but I knew that we would be loyal to each other if we had to. So that felt good coming in. Oh my gosh, it's melty. Honestly, that was my biggest fear coming into this too. Walking on the field the first day, I was like, okay, there's definitely going to be 1 or 2 people I knew. Because from online games too. But it was just Sandra.
But no one blew up your game. About that.
Nobody
So that's
blew up
good.
my game.
Lauren,
Sorry, Dave. Well, that's how I felt about Dave, though. We just, for the second time, we haven't started on a tribe together, and then, we get to this point, and literally our first tribal council, for the second time, Dave writes my name down.
Yes, I did.
So I was like, listen, 2 times.
given
Not
the
again,
situation,
Dave.
again.
Not again.
when did you find your first idol?
Oh, yeah, tell us all the idols.
I told them everything. The first idol I found at our reward feast for the Mergatory.
Okay, you had one.
Where was it?
It was, so you remember when we were like standing at the back of the tent and all the food was on the other side? I was like, okay, something's gonna be in here. So I quickly positioned myself all the way to the right, sat down in front of that tray with like the apples and the goldfish. I saw a goldfish bag, and right behind it was that little tan bag. So I was like, ooh, goldfish. And I saw it. And then I very quickly put it in this pocket. I was nervous and like quickly looked at everybody's eyes, and nobody saw me. But then I was like, shit, I can't just walk around with like big. Something in this. So then I was like, okay, I have to put it in my back, like on my butt. And
Subtle.
I still could have, I mean, nobody saw me. I still could have done it like quietly, but I was just, so I was like, something's in my back. And I put it in there.
I don't even remember that.
Don't remember.
And then Nick was right next to me, like this close. And he was like, do you need help? And I saw him look and then look a little more. And I was like, I think he saw
Did you ever find
it.
out if you know?
I asked him and no, he didn't know.
Well, clearly
So-
people aren't very observant since I grabbed an idol in front of
Seriously.
everyone and no
I
one saw it.
No,
Well,
People
okay,
saw
second-
it,
second
but
one.
people didn't know
Who
who it
had
was. They were like, it was there and then it was gone.
they saw Maddie try and get it.
Did anyone see me actually grab it though?
Only
don't
me.
think so.
I think
Yeah.
only me.
Well,
Where-
I knew
where was your
Sebago
second
did.
one, Allison?
Yeah.
yeah, so that was the
That's
first
why.
one.
That's why I even bothered telling people because I knew all of Sebago knew.
And then also when we were walking back, well, I'm not supposed to talk with the mouth full, but
No rules apply here.
that's very true. When we were walking back, very quickly I went up to Nick. I was like,
When?
Out.
Walking back when?
after the feast, I was like, I want to talk to you when you get a second. To Nick, and then once we got back to the Moosehead camp, we got to talk, and I came up with another question. I forget what it was, because I wanted to lead into it. I was like, okay, I have two questions for you. Out of you, Topher, and Callie, who do you feel the closest with, or who do you think is the closest? And he said, you and Callie. I was like, I see that. I definitely see that. And then I was like, okay. And then my second question is, when we were at the feast, did you like see any idols? And he was like,
smart.
and he was like, no. Like, should I have? And I was like, I don't know. Did you see anybody with one? And he was like, no.
That's
So,
great.
I don't
That's
know
a
if I
great
would have
question.
told you if I saw you get it.
No, she was
No,
maybe his body
I
language.
wouldn't
was
know.
like-
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
because I know he's a poker player, and I didn't know. So he said no. It was 50-50 that I believed him.
Not a poker player here.
Is Nick
You actually, that's why you're wearing those glasses.
Recreational.
He's a rec. Okay, yeah. I was a teacher for 5 years, but I'm a poker professional.
Right now?
player now. Yeah.
Look at you.
That's amazing.
And then my second idol was
Is that the fly trap?
your vote out. It was on the fly trap, hanging from the
crazy.
ceiling.
You're the first to go up.
I was the
I was the first.
I
one.
was
I didn't
the-
see it. I looked everywhere. I missed it.
I was the
I did
fourth.
too.
I
Yeah,
was the
you
fourth
were the
to
end
go
of the
up.
first bench.
1, 2, Amelia, me. So I don't like it. It was so obvious. So I don't know if it was like maybe production planned, like the fourth person we're gonna tie it up.
They
for,
must have.
or
'cause
like
I
how
scoured
could you
everywhere.
not have seen that? Like it would have been at your almost eye level.
Well,
Oh,
we'll find
really?
out in the video
Oh, really?
because if
Yeah.
it's there and
Yeah.
I miss it,
I'm excited to see it, but I checked every single time I
Yeah,
went
me
up
too.
there, and then I saw that bag and I was like, holy shit. And
Idle feed.
this was this was your vote out. So I thought we had the majority on Lauren, but then I think I had one of the last confessionals, and then when I got back it was time to go. I hated that. And very quickly, individually, I saw Amelia first. I was like, we're so good with Lauren. She was like, everything's changing. I was like, what? And she was like, it's Dave. And then I saw Callie, and she was like, it's Dave. And I asked you and Adam, and everybody said Dave. I didn't want to say anything to you because I was thinking of my future game,
oh, I know.
and I felt like I had more options open.
But you did say something to me.
Oh yeah, I did. What was I thinking of?
I said something.
Maybe you're thinking of me because you
No.
didn't say anything to me, and I know you knew.
Callie walked. What happened was
No, it was no. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It was Zach. Okay.
Because I could tell you were very nervous
Yeah.
walking up there, and I thought it was just something else.
Yes.
Or I hope.
Mind. Okay, rewind.
Yeah.
So everybody said it was you, and then we were at the water, and
Callie
I
had
said
already
it was you.
walked up and said, she can't lie. She came up and said, I'm
She
sorry.
cannot
No, she can-
lie.
Oh, yeah.
Other games I've played, like, I've had an idol and gone out with it, and I was like, come on, I can't do that. So I was prepared to play the idol that I won at the reward for myself because I thought they were all lying to me. Because if you had somehow managed to get all the votes on me, I don't think that Amelia or Callie would have told me to my face, so they just would have easily been like, it's Dave. Oh, yeah, you too. I don't know.
You don't think
I was
they
just-
wouldn't have just said yes, Lauren?
No. Me. I was worried that you guys weren't voting for Dave, you were voting for
If
me.
it was you, though, I would not have been told Dave. I would have been told something else, I feel like.
No, that was just my
Because
own
they
paranoia.
didn't tell me when they were voting for Dave at Mergatory.
I had no idea
yeah.
who you were close with.
Me?
Yeah.
Me neither. I knew I had these two. I knew I had
I-
these two. The rest
I
of
feel
the
like
tribe, I
every
had no
time I
idea.
talked to people, I was like I was talking like Nick and Callie, and I was like, "Are you guys good with TJ? Like, do you want to see if he's
I had,
a member?"
I had no relationship
But
with Nick
every
and
time
Callie.
it was like,
But
"We
I
think we can get
realized,
TJ," and I'm like,
I
"Why?"
realized that even if I tried, Allison had a swap tribe with them, so it wouldn't have mattered at my vote, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we were sitting there, I just felt like shit. And then so I was mentally prepared to play my idol for myself because I didn't want to take any chances. And then when I got up there was a freaking idol on the fly trap. And I was like, holy shit,
So you
this
had-
is
you had
a
two
sign.
idols?
Oh, so you had
That's
two
when I
for
grabbed
a
it.
second. Yeah.
Yes, before,
Oh, yeah, play it,
before
play
I
it, play
played
it.
it.
Whipping out one for yourself and for me.
No, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's fine. Cool.
I really
You
wanted
would
to
have been
go
a
to the
real
end.
big target
Nice.
after that.
I already knew I was a target, but yeah, that was the same reason that I didn't tell you that I knew it was you because they all told me
Yeah,
that they were
figured.
voting for you, and I was like,
Yeah.
I have to let Zach
Did
go.
you still vote for Nick that round?
Yeah.
I did
Why?
because I wanted. Not everybody knew that I knew it was Zach.
Makes sense.
So I was sad, and I mean I was sad, but like
Did you know about his idol?
I knew he had one, but I
I
didn't know
told
you were
her
gonna.
before you.
I
I told you both because I do all Sebago.
Did you tell her you were playing it though?
No, I.
No,
no
I
one
liked
knew.
that.
Would you have
Literally no one
yours that you got at the first season?
No, I was going to play I'm getting to the end game, but I knew I had allies, and I obviously
you
trusted
did a
and
great job
appreciated
making
you, but
connections everywhere.
exactly.
Oh, yeah,
so I was
you-
like, I need to keep this idol because I'm going to need it in the end.
You were able to make connections with everyone. It makes sense to save them for yourself.
Thank you.
So, how do you think Callie had her idol?
She told us that Aaron willed it to her.
Yeah.
It was pretty. We like almost all like teared up and cried about it because it was obviously emotional, that vote out, and then we were sitting there like after you guys walked out, and she was so apologetic though
So sweet.
to me and Amelia, and like mostly to Amelia. She just felt so bad. I don't know why, but she was like, I'm sorry, and we were like, Callie, that was a great play. Like, don't be sorry. And she was like, Aaron willed me this idol, and I just felt like it was fitting that I play it for Seth because I know they were so close.
Oh, that's
So, so it was
That's
like a full
cute.
circle, and Seth was like, I just got goosebumps, thank you, and like I teared up a little, and so like even that, like
That makes
that-
me feel a lot better.
That's really cute.
was
That
like-
changes my mind about.
I know that was
That's
like a meant
crazy.
to be. I think a lot of these idol plays or whatever were like a lot of meant to be scenarios.
Yeah.
She played like OG Moosehead so well. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
but
she
yeah.
took Aaron's idol and then tipped off Amelia.
And she
to
told
play.
at that time she had that idol, but she told
But yeah,
Amelia to
Coming with
play her
challenge.
idol or something?
so basically, so
cute.
Aaron So Aaron told Callie, Nick, and me that he had an idol, but he didn't tell Amelia.
Yeah.
And then Aaron was on his journey when Dee Dee gave Amelia her idol. So
Right.
we didn't tell Aaron. So the three of us, Nick, Callie, and I knew each of them had an idol.
Yeah.
But they didn't know the other had an idol.
Yes.
And then so I was like, okay, how can we do this? Like, how can we finagle this? And then Callie and I go, and she's like, Chris, and she pulls out the idol, and we're like, we want to keep this. Let's get rid of Aaron.
Yeah.
So then we're like, okay,
That's such a
dump the votes
badass
on Amelia.
move.
And we're like, okay, Callie, you tip off Amelia. That way, she still trusts you. We can play the middle of this tribe if we need to go again.
Yeah.
Where did Aaron get his idol?
He got a journey.
The journey. Okay, he did.
Can I-
that was the beating of
Can
it.
I ask a wrap it up kind of question?
Oh, I had.
Given we were talking about Mergatory, I think it's interesting that the Mooseheads lost the first battle, but they're about to win the war.
Yeah.
right now.
I guess that
the
was the
other
sacrificial
three of
lamb.
them now have the majority of
Yeah,
five.
I think it was
So
good for them
where do
for
we
you to
where
go.
do we see it going from here?
Well, I think we were getting to a point right at the merge where I was worried because initially Sebago was the most, and then everyone's like, let's
Right.
cut down Sebago, and
Right.
shit, now it's gonna be Moosehead, and I was like,
I tried so
I didn't,
hard.
well, I didn't
Every
wanna,
single vote.
yeah,
I was-
I didn't want to turn
Let's
against Callie
split on
because she was my
Nick
number
and
one.
Callie.
She was my number one, so I didn't want to go against Callie. Amelia, even though I was in on the plan to have her play her idol, I couldn't tell her that I
She
was
didn't
in on
trust
that
any
plan.
of you fully.
She
Do you
didn't, so
think
she
those
trusted
three
Amelia.
Mooseheads
She
are gonna be
trusted Callie
strong
the most,
going
but she,
forward though, or do
No.
you think there's
What
another three that's
I don't
trying
think-
to get to the end together? Here?
I don't think that it's going to be the three Mooseheads.
I think they're playing
I was
this
out of
game.
position.
Allison, who do you think the final three is going to be?
I guess it'll depend on this, but I think Adam, Amelia, and
I think it takes Seth.
Who wins?
I think Adam, Amelia, and Nick.
Ooh.
I honestly would vote Nick over Adam at this point.
I need to hear
Really?
that.
That's-
Well, I would
I'd
need,
vote
I would
Adam
need to
unless I
hear,
vote
but
God.
I think the three in the front of the last tribal want to go to the end with each other. I think Callie sees Amelia and Seth as her best matchup, and you also have a dragon in Seth. I think I realized this after the last vote. I think we have the Kingmaker in Amelia that could go with old Moosehead, or could go with Seth and Adam, who we were with on new Moosehead.
Oh yeah, Amelia's in a good position
We
now
have the
that I'm
Kingmaker and we have the Dragon in Seth that can burn
Ooh,
anybody.
they're balancing.
that can burn
Amelia's gonna
anybody
win
down
this.
at
Oh no,
four.
they're not balancing.
So
No, it is.
I think it's going to be very interesting.
Oh, I thought
to
they were
see
standing
where
on something.
Amelia goes at this vote.
that's a
I'm
big.
excited. I'm like.
You guys ran over my analogy.